game-based learning all in one platform versus any one of the three.
Yeah. I mean, it's very, very interesting. It was fun to see that, to see someone else kind of doing something similar. I mean, something similar, definitely.
I've been doing it for a long
And
time.
it is making people engage outside of like the normal environments. So it's definitely, that concept is out there, but not like making it like a real game.
Well, I don't know that it is like looks like a game necessarily is like a key part of what we're doing.
Really?
But so
I think it helps the illusion. Are we recording?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think it helps with the illusion a lot, you know.
Well, there's no illusion.
Yeah, because it is playing a game. But
Well, so I picked up a book on gamification I've been reading, and I pulled some interesting stuff out of it. But one of the big things is what I agree with the author. He says that gamification isn't about being like a game. It's human-focused design, where we're designing based on people's motivations first, rather than efficiently completing a task first. And so the whole point of setting this whole thing up is we're trying to, every step of the way,
Maximize engagement.
maximize engagement by maximizing motivation. And human motivations are stupid half the time, right?
Most of the time.
Yeah.
It's okay. Doesn't matter.
Well, what a really cool study that they showed, and this is with pricing, but The Economist, the periodical, like newspaper, it's a monthly magazine thing.
Yeah.
They did a bunch of research where they showed students, graduate students, different pricing models, and one of them was like 75 for digital only and 125 for print and digital, right? And so it was like 70% of them roughly went for the cheaper option. And then they showed them the exact same thing, but in between they put 125 for print only. So it's 75, 125, and then 125 again, which is retarded, obviously. But it increased the number of people that bought the 125 full package by 30 or 40%. Huge increase, just because. And they linked it to is, and so these are the 8 motivations that people have when they're playing a game or being, in general, in real life, just in general, but in a gamification context, this is how they link out. And so it was accomplishment, right? They felt smart by choosing the objectively better, better option because you got 2 things for the same price as one thing.
Sure.
That's why they did it. It wasn't economically better option. So anyway, I pulled this up. This is from the book, and if anybody ever wants to borrow it, I've got it on Kindle, so you can do a transfer. But these are the things we need to keep in mind when we're designing the whole system.
Well, it's not even, I don't think we need to do it. I would go about it a different way, actually. I would start with we need to dive into each one of those topics and really say, okay, what is that, in the context of what we're trying to accomplish, what does an epic meaning mean, what does empowerment mean, how do we approach social empowerment, predictability factor, avoidance, all the things that go into play, so that we are thinking, so that we've already answered those questions before we start, because I think that's going to be important in how to do it.
Yeah, we could do that, though. I've written down to promote about half of them, detailed approaches and what it means for each thing. So like epic meaning and calling, you would implement that with narrative by being a world hero. So you're doing something for the greater good, like Wikipedia, people write for that for free, right? Elitism or rivalry between groups, beginner's luck, free lunch. So I can go more in depth what these are, but we can actually go through and do each one. I don't know at what point in the development of this we want to do that. If today is the right day or what, but
Well, I think
that's available.
I think what we probably want to,
That's cool to just have that list available. Yeah, that is incredible. To be thinking in terms of that as we move through the process. Like you said, I don't think that it's necessary that we nail down every one of those in the development phase, at this point in the development phase.
Well, I don't know. So it depends on what we're doing today. So maybe we should talk about what the next stages are for developing this.
Well, we need to obviously decide on a model. We've been playing with the Reiki thing. I think if we just go through that, use that as like our template, because it's what I like about that topic is that there's, if you originally thought of how you're going to approach a group of people like Reiki practitioners, the very last thing that would come to mind would be gaming. I mean, that wouldn't occur to anybody except for the people in this room.
Our entire society is based on game logic. That's what you have to understand. It is not this thought that people have that it's something new or we don't do this all the time is ridiculous. Everything from coupons at a grocery store to the way that we're marketed to the advertising, everything is designed to draw your attention and influence desired behaviors based on input from external sources. Politics, business, you name it, it's going on. It's been going on for decades.
Sure. Stuff at the
everybody
at the checkout counter.
Everything, you know,
Yeah, do you want cash back
where
for
they
your credit
put-
card transaction? You know, yeah.
where they put the freaking magazines in a grocery store
Yeah.
are all based on this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Because it's basically what we're looking at is it's a study of intrinsic human behaviors and how to get the most reward towards a given goal or target based on how people normally respond and would like to respond to something.
Mhm.
So every person, every human being in the world is subject to this. And the question is how you frame it for certain, styles. Like, for example, people who are into sustainable living, the goals and tasks and that kind of stuff will be different. But
Different motivation.
different motivation, but the framework will still be the same no matter what.
Mhm.
Framework is immutable. It's people. People are always going to be the same. They're going to like that reward. They're going to like to chase something they get.
But you're going to change the checkout counter experience to pick up those extra dollars on the way out for your audience. As your audience changes, you can
You just
redesign that whole area.
No, you just change pictures. You just change pictures. It's not a redesign because it's the same. The things are the same. So we don't have to go back and change fundamentally everything we're thinking about because it's Reiki. We just got to change the skin on it.
Mhm.
We just got to reskin everything, and that's it. That's kind of the point is we build a system that doesn't have to be rebuilt. It just has to be reskinned. In other words, you change the look and change the rewards and change the words, and and then we appeal to somebody else that.
I would actually I just thought about this week. I thought about virtually teaching Reiki 1, 2, and 3 through the game process.
Isn't that what we're talking about creating a platform to do?
No.
Yes.
We weren't talking about teaching Reiki 1, 2, 3. We were talking about teaching Reiki practitioners how to expand their practice.
No. Okay.
No?
No. Let's go back. Okay. We're talking about building a platform
Mm-hmm.
that can teach anybody anything.
Okay. Okay.
Okay? Right?
Yeah.
So you want to teach sales and marketing? Great. We gamify it. We put it in the game. We teach them how to do it. Done. You change the skins. You change the rewards, but you're still teaching somebody something. If you develop a platform that can teach Reiki practitioners how to market their business, you can turn around and use that same platform, that same framework with a new skin on it. You could teach Reiki, you can teach sales and marketing, because the intrinsic motivations of people in games don't change.
Mm-hmm.
So once we nail down the process of the game,
Mm-hmm.
we put a new package around it,
Mm-hmm.
and we can teach anybody anything. You change your words, because everybody's language is going to be different, but
Sure.
it doesn't. The teaching platform and the core of what we're trying to build doesn't change.
So this is really interesting. So if you take that to the like I roll that back with what you just said. I take that and I roll that back a little bit, which means that what we need is a fill in the blank structure for each stage, and the sub processes for each stage, where we just fill in the blanks. Like for this stage 1, you have these stages or these processes and sub projects.
This objective and these steps to accomplish this objective.
And that is, once you create that structure, it's always the same.
Yeah.
You just fill in.
the blanks of steps that need to go to it.
Oh, that's really exciting.
So if I'm going to teach you how to do a web page and learn SEO, the goal is to do this. These are the steps, the teaching points we have to get through in the game.
Wow.
And here's
That's
the
really
rewards
cool.
tied to it.
Think what that would be like to write a book. I mean, you can write a 12-chapter book, play the game, write the 12-chapter book, press publish at the end. You're done.
Yeah, so we're like, as Dave's been saying,
Uh-huh.
how are we gonna do names, by the way? Are you David and Dave? Is that how you guys do it? Or?
I don't. We're both.
I've just been, in my notes, I've been using DRG, DMM, and D.
Well, we can do last names then. And it's not confusing now, but it's gonna be at some point. Anyway, there's two different objectives that we're doing at the same time. Well, three, but two of them are we're teaching people stuff, and so there could be campaigns where it's literally just a course, like the Reiki one. And then there's also ones where you're going through a process. It's like the SEO one that we're talking about with the Reiki people is both. We're teaching them the SEO part, but we're also taking them through the process of writing, X number of blog posts or creating a product of their own.
Yeah, but even if you flip that to sales and you try to teach somebody to do sales, they've got to write their own scripts.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you try to use canned scripts, you sound like garbage. So marketing, advertising content, you name it, they've got to be able to take those concepts and put in their own words, which is no different than writing a freaking blog post about a subject.
Right.
There's also no reason why we can't, so most of them are going to be a mixture of the two. They're going through processes and they're learning. But there's no reason why we can't have pretty much just educational stuff, and there's no reason why we couldn't have just process stuff. So let's say somebody knows everything about SEO, like they already did the course.
Mm-hmm.
They could still go through a process-only version multiple times, or like they're an author, right? They know everything about writing a book, but they can go through the book writing campaign as a way of, it's like preset tasks basically.
It helps structure their time.
Yeah, and it helps keep them motivated.
It keeps them objectives. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no reason you can't. It's just like playing any other game. A lot of times people go through and play the same game from a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of you look at MMOs and there's multiple character classes and stuff. The story never changes.
Mm-hmm.
The story never changes, but how you play changes. And people do it. I know people that have every class available on things. So it's crazy.
And I was thinking about you're building a castle model too. So like if you're moving through the process and you can move through quickly and have some basic structures built on your way and reach the end and you're like, then you can go back and like put on finishing touches, add lighting, add landscaping, before you complete your program. I don't see anybody doing that. I mean, is that something that could reasonably be done? Because you're moving through a linear.
Yeah, I mean, technically that's not a big deal, but I'm kind of moving away a little bit from the really hardcore, like, this is an RPG thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that the concept of them building up their own thing, well, it's a motivation, ownership, for one.
Yeah.
And there might be some virtual ownership of stuff, but I think for a lot of these, like, where they're doing SEO especially, they should have ownership over this content that they've written in a virtual sense. So they should be building a portfolio of their pages, of their funnels.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's kind of like what they feel ownership over.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can think of ways to make it engaging where they're like, okay, I need to get one of these, I need to get one of those. Like, there should be some sense of a collection. So if you've got two of the three, you want to get the fourth. Or two of the three, you want to get the third, kind of a deal. But I think that is better than an abstract castle type model.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we want to go the character route, maybe getting like equipment and stuff like
The virtual representation of that is important, though.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, there's got to be something you can see on a home page or on when they log in that says, "I've got this. This is what my stuff looks like." It can't be
Like your homescape.
It can't be like 3 lines of "I've got these and I need the fourth." That doesn't provide a
Well, I'm thinking like
visual engagement.
some kind of like badge or like even like cards.
Mm-hmm.
Cards might be the right model.
Or card sets or badge sets, whatever.
Yeah, because I think for people writing SEO especially, it's beneficial to have feedback about actually how well they really did. So they should see at some point, we'll hide it at first because they're not going to have any views. But when they start getting some, they should see the views. They should see the income that's being generated, and even get some reward for that. Right? Because the advanced people, we don't want people to go through this once and then stop. Right? So there might be a class of people that only come in and they're like, I'm an SEO person. I want to just keep writing stuff. And so Medium already kind of does this. It's a general blog where you can write blog posts and you get paid a percentage of the revenue that they make from people viewing it through ads and stuff. We can figure out exactly how we want to do that, whether it's real money or virtual money or whatever. But I think real money might be the way to go. And people should get actual feedback for doing, like, real rewards for doing well on the SEO side. And so some of them may move on and do courses and stuff like that. But I think that should be in the visual that we choose, something that's there. And so they're growing. And one way to keep people in is if they don't log in every so often or do a task or whatever, they end up losing it. If you haven't logged in 6 months, then your portfolio goes away. So time scarcity is also a big factor. So maybe that could be virtually represented through a castle, but I think that abstraction might be a little too much. I'd rather them see literally, like, I wrote this post, this is what it's performing like. So there might be some other thing that would work better.
No,
It could be towns maybe.
well, keep hanging on with structure, but I mean, it's looking at that from going down that road of, if it's part of a collection, you click on your collection, you should be able to go in and see individual performance and treat it kind of like Farmville does, where you're monitoring your production of your crops, so to speak. So you can, you click on a field and you can see the production and how effective you've been, because have you watered it, have you fed it, whatever, that kind of thing.
Well, I think for the
So you can click on it and you can see, in that side of that, this is what's going on, and see the individual performance, because you got a badge or you got a scorecard or a percentage or whatever the source is, you need to be able to see analytically all the pieces of that and what's contributing and what's not, so you can get better.
Well, I agree on that 100%. And so, if let's say their main metric is views, right? Then we should have a physical, maybe it's like a pile of something, or like stuff that shoots out or something. But it shouldn't just be a number. It should be like the thing gets bigger and bigger as it goes up. And then for the collection, I'm thinking maybe like some kind of a grid with stuff on it, like badges or whatever, right? And so there's empty spots that they need to fill in. And then maybe we can have a smaller representation of like the pile of stuff, but you can click on each thing and it's bigger, and you can get more detailed and more visual representation of how everything is doing.
What's interesting is I'm actually, this is like, just this little process right here is starting to affect the way I see the whole world. So I'm thinking, like, I'm checking on my grandkids and stuff. I'm thinking, how can I help gamify their lives so that they feel like they're making progress? So, like, there's a Jewish thing for girls. They give them, it's called an Add a Pearl necklace. So every time they get an Add a Girl, they do some kind of thing that is worthy in their life, they get a pearl. And then by the time they become a teenager or whatever, if they've done enough cool things, they end up with a whole necklace full of pearls, which is a really great thing. I can't figure out how to do that for a boy, but for a girl, it's a beautiful thing.
Well,
then I thought
it'll work for both.
yeah, because it's not going to be different, right? They'll all be the same.
Or boys can wear beautiful necklaces too, or they'll want to.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's really cool. So now I'm thinking about doing a web page for each grandchild, and like build a town based on all of their activities that they do. Like this building in your town was built because you got an award for baseball, which everybody gets an award for baseball now, but unfortunately. So that they'll be able to, when they're a teenager, they'll be able to look up at this web page. It's going to be a map of all the things they've done, all the real estate they've built, and young life.
I wonder for that, it might be better if it was like a real printed thing, like a physical thing. Like if it's a town, maybe like an actual like poster of a town with like blank spots and put it in. I don't. I just people feel a lot stronger about physical things.
Yeah. So gamification, it's a big dang deal.
Well, it's the human mind. It's just psychology.
Yeah.
But trying to use it in a positive way or a negative way. Depends on what you're doing. But.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so what's the next step in our phase for moving forward to creating a model that we can play with, use? And we do have right now we just have a couple of Reiki practitioners now. So that's, if we're going to do a Reiki model or some other one, I'm not saying we have to do that one, but
Well, the thing is,
that one's just the biggest reach, I think. I mean, and it's easy for us to plug into because there's no support out there for Reiki people. So, and pretty much anything we do, I don't think we can do it wrong because there's nothing out there for them like anyway. Unlike sales and marketing, of course, there's huge competition in that field.
no, really.
What? I don't
It's
know.
all-
I get ads on my Facebook
It's
every
all,
day.
yeah, but have you read it? Have you actually read the content? It's all the same. There's nothing different about any of that material. It's all the same. Trust me, I lived in this world for a long time. It's all the same.
Some of it has like high cameras, low cut blouses.
Again,
That's
the content is all the same.
We can give you a low cut blouse.
Yeah, see that work? Put the camera up here.
Oh.
Yeah,
Hi, boys and girls.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I think we need to get all of our material and documents into Asana so we can start actually using it instead of just throwing it out there. And like David went through and assigned point values to the current class, and he's got a document of it, but it's not where we can all access it and start building structure around it. So we need to start using the tools for project management now.
Well, that was for the
Yeah, I know what it's for, but
class.
I know.
We're going to pull them into Asana too?
No, that's for us.
Oh, for us.
Yes, because we have to build right now. We have to build around something.
Yes.
We already have this all figured. We already have a class that's laid out. Why would we go back and create a new one? Rather than take take the objectives we've got laid out and what's already done and start to build structure around it.
Well, because one thing is, well, not that it matters necessarily, but if we were going to do this class again, we're going to do it differently.
So we're gonna. So are you thinking that we should start working around getting a specific campaign, let's say?
Yeah. We need
Okay.
to start. We need to.
we already have a basic structure, a skeleton.
Right. And
Why not use that?
right. That's my point. And we already got some tasks and objectives with some points, and we need to have something to start playing with and seeing what we need to tweak and fix.
Yeah.
Right now we have nothing. We're playing in a complete nebulous
Sure.
quagmire of stuff, and without some sort of hey, we'll start off with this, and then we can start playing with it and see what we can fix.
So I'm thinking, I agree with that. What we're gonna morph the SEO class that we're doing now into the 30-day version. Now I don't know that we need to specify Reiki or whatever at this point,
Nope.
Sure.
but it's gonna be SEO for blank, with the blank to be filled in, because I think we can organize the tasks and the learning separately of you're a Reiki person or you're a salesperson.
Yep.
So that will be the next thing.
Yeah, okay. I'm down with that. And plus, like you said, the skeleton's already built. Easy to modify what we already have done instead of recreating it.
I don't even know that there'll be that much modification for all the versions of the SEO. Like the point of targeting a specific group is mostly for the marketing and to get types of people together. But we're not really changing the material for them, I don't think.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll decide to later, but. So the SEO course is just the SEO course. And then then we can do completely other ones like book writing course or whatever. But that's later down the line.
There you go.
Is that Eye of Horus?
Hmm?
Is that Eye of Horus on your computer?
No, it's a logo for Aces, Republic of Gamers.
Really?
I haven't looked up why they have the logo that they do. DMM share. Let's see the course docs on. What's that on? Because we have forms and files, you can put everything in there. And
Yeah,
it's
that's on it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we could use that to build the engine, basically?
No, we're using it as our this is our project management stuff. So we can all see what's going on, we know what we're doing.
So where are we gonna build?
We are, I ain't building shit. There's no we in this conversation, brother. I don't know what you're talking about. That's not my skill set.
Uh-huh.
Not my skill set.
Well, I mean, it's like we'll need. This will just be the Asana things is for the to do. Where we check things off is when we do the
Called project management, yes.
So basically, we need to figure out exactly what we're doing.
So,
So I mean, I'm going to build the page that does this stuff, but like,
right.
we need to fill in. You know, is every part of this necessary? Like, what are the bounties going to be? How are we going to do these levels? Is that thing even like? What are the levels? What are the classes? If there's going to be any. A big thing is going to be choosing the bounties and how exactly we break it up. Also, within the bounties, there's specific things they have to do to get them, right? So they're going to write a title, blog title, or watch a video. So for programming wise, I'm going to need to have kind of a start of a list of what are the exact activities that they're going to do. You know, are they writing a full blog post at one go? Are they going to do titles? And we'll need to work towards kind of having classifications of, you know, more general classifications of things that they can do. It's like, okay, they can fill in these 5 blanks, or they can have a text editor that they need to do, fill in, you know, certain parts of it or stuff like that. So these concepts, also the map. If we stick with the map, which I think we need some kind of progress indicator. So we'll just assume it's a map for now. But what each stage of the map is, and what they need to do to get to the next stage.
So would it be too simplified for us to be able to just take this and convert the weeks into those numbers? Would that be too basic?
Well, maybe we should start by parameterizing exactly what this course is going to teach. Because my understanding, and I might be wrong, is that it's going to be about 30 days or less, and it's going to take them through the minimum amount to get a funnel going. And be an expert in the field, right? Is that?
Wow. That's a lot to do in 30 days. That's amazing.
You know, I care less about what we're teaching. That's not why I'm here.
Well, as far as saleability of we were thinking that a 19-week program is too much.
Yeah, we need to break it down. It's got to be 4 to 5 weeks max. Theoretically, with daily objectives.
Yeah, so each one of these I was thinking would be a day, roughly, worth of work. Let's say we asked them for an hour a day. If they completed the minimum number of tasks for each one of these days, it would take a person who's smart and capable about an hour to do. And then at the end of the 30 days, they need to, or roughly, it could be 45 or whatever, we need to get them to some meaningful objective in the real world, because that's the point of doing this, is have real world results. So whatever you think we can get to in that amount of time.
That has something we can.
Now, it may not be publish a book, have a funnel, and have SEO. Like we're talking about, we're going to they're all working, at least in this model, on the same website.
I think we could do, like if we're doing blog posts, that's one thing, and we can combine something with that increases their credibility. Book does not have to be that. A book can be, because we're having them write content for another website anyway.
Mhm.
So the writing is boosting their credibility. We build in other kinds of PR related social media stuff that we add to the blogging that helps build their credibility score. That's not writing a book. Maybe that's a separate game. We can break that out by itself.
Yeah, that could well be a separate add-on or course or whatever.
Yeah.
So let's think of Reiki specifically for now,
Mhm.
or maybe more generally a business type person.
Mhm.
I did 30 days and I get what? What is it?
So what you get is to increase your credibility and authority online.
That is not very quantifiable.
Yeah.
Well, what do they want? Are there Reiki people online going, wow, I really wish I could increase my credibility and authority online?
Well, if you do that, though, it
Then
increases
you
your income earning potential, right?
Mhm.
Because now you may be worth $25 an hour or $30 an hour. But after you've completed this, you can easily charge $150 an hour.
So the result they get is they can increase their hourly.
It increases their value.
So, well, value is too abstract of a thing.
It is. It's
So,
pretty abstract
what is it?
because I don't know if we can put a quantifier on there.
Well, we need to.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to actually measure and it's going to be better, but we need something specific to tell people that we're shooting for, right? And this is relevant because we have to model the whole thing off this. So it could be increase your hourly, it could be more clients, or leads, something like that.
I think when you're talking about online, you're looking at traffic and looking at throughput of the traffic to convert to leads.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at page views. No, if you're trying to do it as a business, you want the most traffic you get and the best click through you can get.
Well, it's business, but we're talking about people.
These people are doing
not
it for a
businesses.
reason.
Yeah. Well, they're a Reiki practitioner, right? What are they sitting there going, I wish I could have what?
Clients
Yeah.
and more per hour. I mean, raise my rate.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all afraid to raise their rate. Every one of them. This really low mindset.
So then probably clients is what we'd want to shoot for. If they're afraid of doing it, we don't want to market that to them. Guess
Right.
the thing you're really afraid of doing won't get you there in 30 days. Yeah.
You don't tell them you're doing it, that's all.
Yeah. Well, we need, so the overall is we're going to increase their earnings, right? Specifically, we're going to
Yes.
increase their clients, something like that, right? Or maybe increase their earning. We might have to figure out how we phrase that.
I mean, no matter what job you're in, if you've written a book about in that field, that automatically increases your value to that organization. You can get more money just because you wrote the book.
So this will be a book writing.
No, it's not a book writing.
Okay. Well,
But I'm just saying that it is one of those online credibility things.
yeah. Well, we're not
Because
arguing
you're putting
against.
it on your.
We 100% agree with you on that fact.
Yeah.
But we're trying to figure out what to do on this thing.
So if we increase
So-
their credibility and authority, right, which is the concept of the game, then we increase their earning ability.
That whole
Right.
conversation is way too abstract to be motivating to most people.
Okay.
So if we're going to talk about credibility,
Well,
it
how
needs to
about
be
this?
something that's specific.
So how about this?
Uh-huh.
When how about, because like your value to your organization,
What organization, though?
whatever organization you're working for,
Okay,
you're getting paid
oh my
20% of what you're worth.
My head hurts. You guys got to stop talking abstract, David. You can't.
Well, I'm
That-
getting to a number 20% of what you're worth. That
No,
means
that's
we're gonna
not.
raise your value 80%.
The whole thing of being paid a percentage of what you're worth is also confusing and abstract to people. Yeah.
I'm going to give you a very concrete two things that people who are on the internet trying to generate business are looking at,
Yes.
and those are the things you're going to focus on.
It's
You're going to look at
traffic
traffic and click through. That's it. Very concrete, simple metrics. If you do those two things, you will increase value. You will be perceived higher. Bob, all those things are true. Do these two things.
Well, now
Increase
we're
your
talking
traffic
about-
and click through. That's it.
So now we're only talking about then appealing to people who have websites.
That's what you just told.
That
We're just talking about doing it online, right? I thought, well, if they don't have a website, then how will they?
Well,
Online,
one of the
I'm
things
saying
one of the things we're thinking about is we're aggregating all of their content into our site.
I understand,
Yeah.
but we got to start somewhere with something. And you guys are talking. You're arguing about what we're to teach, and it doesn't fucking matter what we're teaching. That's what I'm trying to explain. It doesn't matter. We can pick any subject. how to make a fucking box. As long as we gamify it and lay out the process, we can plug anything into that process.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what we want.
Yeah, but you're sitting here talking about, and you, that's why I'm saying it's simple. Pick one that makes that translates easily and move on, because it doesn't matter. Because the
Well, that's
process.
what we're trying to do. But we're trying to do it in a way that, like, I'm talking all these vague things that people can't relate to.
And that's why I just gave you one that was really simple and straightforward.
Yeah.
And then we can and you build a process around that, and then the process to accomplish any task, as long as we do it properly, is and lay it out in a true lay it out project manager. These steps lead to this, lead to. Then you can plug any subject into it and make it work. All we need is the outline now. It doesn't matter if we're doing it for Reiki people who don't have a website, do have a website. We just need a process that we can put steps to, and that we can build around. And then we can start changing the skins. Because what you guys are talking about is what it looks like at the end. But what I'm talking about, which is more important, is what's the process look like? That's the important part. What are we gamifying? How are we building the structure? That's first. Because once that's done right, again, we can build unlimited amounts of training around it, because we have a structure and a website that is designed to take people through it.
We agree with you there, but we're trying to.
We're just trying to choose something to build A1 around.
A template, yeah.
It doesn't matter. That's
Well, we need to choose one.
that's why I gave you.
We can't go all in at the
I
same
know.
time.
That's why I gave you one.
So that's your suggestion, is the SEO.
That's
What
I've got two guys in the room that know it well. See, we've got the resident experts that have enough experience. We can build a game around it without outsourcing anything else. We can do this with that subject matter right now. That's why it's my choice, because we don't have to worry about, do we know enough about Reiki and what these people are doing and that people are doing.
Yeah.
We have all the
doesn't matter if we choose that one. Then
we have the resources to do that one right now. Without
The one technical difference between the other version and then that one is, if they're writing for us, we need a different technical backend than if they're writing for themselves.
no. All we gotta do is change where the feed goes.
Well, so we would need additional technical backend if it's going to go directly onto our site, as opposed to if they're just going to write it themselves.
Right. I mean, where the content goes shouldn't be that hard to change if we program it properly.
Yeah, that will honestly probably be one of the more difficult parts of this.
Well, and if
From the
we're
programming
using
side.
we're not using a WordPress, because there probably is a plugin that we can.
It doesn't. Again, where it goes is irrelevant at this point in time. We still don't have structure.
Mhm.
You know, we're not putting someone through this and turning it out for the public. We need a structure that is
Yeah, we
engaging.
agree with you we agree with you on that.
I know, but
We're just trying to figure out where we're going.
you keep going back to what we're going to talk about, and none of that matters until we figure out.
Well, the specifics of the task are related to, you know,
To
in,
just
in
get
a
a
broad
working
sense,
model.
to the
Right,
kind
and
of
that's
stuff
what I'm saying.
that-
Picking a working model that we know.
Yeah.
You guys said it earlier. The game model was to do something in 30 days. SEO. That's what you told me. That's what you said before we started this conversation.
Yeah.
Before you started talking about this, was SEO in 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't we run with that? I mean, it doesn't take. We don't have to. Once we have a structure of, we know that there are going to be 15 days of.
We have to know who our avatar is, right?
Well, no. I mean, again, we don't really, because if we're saying 15 days, can you scroll down here? If we're saying we want, okay. So let's say we're doing SEO, which is what we've got up here, right?
Mhm.
Or we're going to say Reiki. We change this guy's face, make him like a little, and change the name.
Mhm.
This part, none of this changes except for the images and skins.
Right.
None of the
what they're doing when they click on a task is changing.
Yeah.
right, but the structure of the tasks and how we progress is not.
Yeah.
And that's the core part of gamifying this thing, is the game and how we're gaming it and making the engine work. Because once we have how the engine works, we throw whatever skins you want on it. Theoretically, ideally, that's what we're talking about doing. Then we can teach anything,
In 30 days, whatever it is.
right. We got to have some sort of, but we have to have some sort of structure, and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so I don't. know that nailing down what the course is, other than it being a function of how we're laying it out, is important. I mean, we got to teach something.
Oh, well, a little while ago we were saying use this, basically.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were basing on, but
But this is not SEO.
when we start, well, part of it is.
Yeah.
Not a
Part
lot of
we-
it, though.
The part we were cutting out.
So
Probably 30% of that is SEO.
I'm so confused.
And that course is not SEO. It's got a portion of it that is, but we have business stuff in there. We have fundamental
Right,
stuff. We got all,
Right.
yeah.
It's all in there. So our conversations have historically been around how to make money in 30 days on the internet.
Right.
Okay?
Mhm.
Is that what we're choosing? I mean, these are, because for the last
We
2
have been
weeks,
talking about that.
for the last 2 weeks that we met, that's what we've
where we
talked about.
started, really.
Right.
Where we started.
It's how to make money on the internet in 30 days. And getting
Yeah.
somebody a tangible return, something they can see and start making money on in 30 days. I mean, that's what we've been talking about. Is that where we go? I mean, because I don't know
that
that,
was going to be our first funnel. Yeah.
I don't know that talking about Reiki or focusing on a specific.
So
niche-
we're not suggesting that we teach people Reiki.
No.
That'd be good.
But we're talking.
Yeah.
We keep going down this road of.
We're going to get Reiki people to make money online.
Right.
It's always been make money online.
Right.
We're trying to narrow down exactly how,
Okay.
because
But
yes, the tasks, like the way that we present the tasks, actually matters what they're doing.
sure.
Oh yeah.
But the structure of how to get there doesn't change by niche. And you got to talk.
No,
You're
yeah.
talking about niche markets of Reiki or this or that.
Right.
And I'm saying, okay, but how we make money online doesn't change over the course of of whatever niche we're in. So let's figure out what that outline looks like, and then put the words around the outline
So the outline to get to where?
that make money online, right?
How?
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to nail
I'm
down.
asking you guys. You tell
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
And we're trying to figure it out.
Okay, I'm confused.
Okay, and we were going to have 3 levels. So does that mean we'd have 3 games?
3 levels of what? I don't understand.
How to make money online. We're going to have how to make money like right now,
Right,
how to make money,
because that's what we talked
More
about,
money.
Coops, right?
and then how to make even more money.
We were thinking about originally the way we talked about it would be the first 30 days would be how to make money online, and then the next 30 to 60 days would be the next step, right? And then the 60 and 90 day would be the final step to make maximizing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what I'm understanding?
That's
that
where
what
we started. I don't know where.
Are we still there?
I don't know if we.
Well, here's
had
the thing.
3 different games.
I think no.
I don't know
think
how
so.
that works
No,
into
I
the
don't
game.
think no.
I know how that works into the funnel system.
No, I don't think we have to. No, you don't have 3 different games. You have different expansion packs, so to speak.
Yeah, the course can just keep
Keep
going.
going. Yeah, just keep
But
going.
they get, they pay for one and they get to one and that's the goal. And then
And then they like, okay, well, I like this. I can make some more money. Then we pay for this and buy the expansion pack. And or if they're making money, they can keep their not cash it out and use that to pay for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so we are okay. So we're starting there. How to make money online? Okay. I'm so confused.
So that could be any.
And I'm just trying to.
That is the.
So I'm gonna start with the 30-day course, right? That's what we're trying. That's what we're
I
starting
think so, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you guys
It's
got
a
that.
pretty broad niche.
Well, it's not a niche. The thing is, we're not.
Yeah.
Once we figure this out, I mean, once you guys take all your knowledge of how to do this, then you can put it to a niche and say, okay, we got to tweak this, tweak that, tweak this, but the core stays the same. What I'm trying to accomplish is to avoid duplicating efforts later on.
Yeah.
To nailing down.
Like this, what we have going here, you could apply that to any niche.
Right. Exactly.
Well,
Same
so I think we should do a broad thing, but like this specific series,
Mm-hmm.
the end goal is that you have a funnel that you can sell with a course that you make. That's what the 19 weeks gives you.
Okay.
Including with traffic generating sources.
So
we're saying if we're going to narrow this down
Can
to
we-
30 days, what are we going to do in 30 days?
so can. So in.
In
Okay. So
a
19
week.
weeks. No. So 30. 12 weeks. So ideally, if we're converting this into a game, this whole thing, we've converted it into a 4-stage 30-day game. 4 stages, 30 days apiece. That gives us 20 weeks roughly, or 20, 19, 18 and a half weeks or something like that, right? 4.3 times 4 would be 16, 17 weeks
The way we were teaching this, we were teaching people to not need us.
Right. We want to teach them to stay. We want to teach them to play inside of our sandbox.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why we're switching away from page views, because the idea was we're not going to teach them to make their own site. We're going to teach them to write on a shared site.
Right. Which actually will help. Ideally, once we plug this into a niche market, say it's Reiki, for example, and you got 5 people all contributing to the same kind of sub page of our stuff. You got 5 times the impact. You got 5 people writing. You got 5 different perspectives. You've got 5 different authors. Odds are you're gonna get 5 times the posts, which increases all their credibility because they're all working together.
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of what we're thinking. Group thinking, group think.
Yeah.
So we can cut out some of the stuff about creating their own stuff, but still, the core of making money online. What are we going to give them in 30 days? Because they're going to, ideally, if they're working together as a team, they're going to be getting a lot of cross value.
Well, it could literally just be a percentage of ad revenue that they make on the site that they wrote.
Could. Okay.
In which case, we would be optimizing page views. That would be their thing. So the reward for them doing this could be you make money directly online from us by playing this game.
I was thinking that, like, Amazon has a model similar to that for Kindle. When you publish a Kindle book, you can opt in to Kindle shared revenue, which means that you can make money, like however they make money off of their free and sharing Kindle product.
Yeah, I still have to figure that out. How do you make money on giving a book away for free?
Yeah, I don't know, but they monetize it somehow, and they do distribute that money based on
Percentage of sales or whatever.
some kind of formula, which I cannot figure out.
By the
But I
way,
get mystery money because I'm in that program.
You get-
That's all I know is I get
mystery
mystery money. I don't know. It might only be
did you see
49
Facebook
cents.
start paying content creators to compete with TikTok?
What?
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yep. Facebook has got they set aside a whole bunch of money to start paying content creators to publish content on their site because they're getting their asses kicked by TikTok from independent individuals who create content and have all those followers. Interesting. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, they're hurting.
So, what are we teaching in 30 days?
Well, it could be just plain SEO. This is how you write a thing that writes good page views, and you're going to be writing for us, and you make money.
Well, that's what I thought we'd start
And
with.
we're going to put ads on there. So basically, we're teaching them how to do that.
No,
Right?
we're teaching them how to write good SEO content and articles. That's it. They're publishing those to our site. You guys controlling the ads. They get a percentage of revenue, right?
Yeah. So we stick the
So you guys,
the whatever
Yeah.
whatever we're making money on, we'll put on some Google AdSense and some
And there's a lot better options than that. Yeah.
Amazon links, ClickBank products, stuff like that.
yeah, but we're managing that on our side, right?
Well, my thought was they write stuff in here, and it literally, instead of WordPress, we'll have the back end of this. We'll just publish it onto a site.
Right.
There'll probably be a review process or whatever. But yeah, so the whole thing would be integrated. So they
So
write it, and
they write it goes right on there once it passes some sort of quality check.
Yeah, right. And they'll get reviews from us or some kind of process where this is good, this is bad, it's an A or B or whatever kind of thing.
So we're basically, ideally, our marketing pitch to niche markets would be, we're increasing your everything, basically, because they're going to have a lot of them are going to have their own websites anyway. I mean, they just will. I mean, they may not be good, but they're going to have their own websites. That's just something that has to be anymore. But increase their authority in their given subject matter, increase their
In our subject matter.
theirs, whatever they're writing about. It's their stuff. I mean, it's their area of expertise or their area of interest.
Because they're going to be authors on, they can earn to get to the point where they are on what do you call it? Listed author, whatever, an accredited author for the articles they write. They can buy other people's articles and stuff later on too. And those could probably have backlinks to their site. So that would improve. And for people that are practitioners or something, Because like the Reiki, as an example,
Mhm.
domain is going to be get a lot of traffic, people that want that service.
Mhm.
So referrals of local clients could also be something that they earn.
And then if you've got 5 or 7 people writing about Reiki, it's going to increase the traffic. So those 5 or 7 people that are writing should benefit from that. You know, especially if we can teach them how to do, Reiki online consultations, because they can then get customers outside of their local area.
Yeah, the distance stuff like that would be perfect. Then we don't have to do local stuff. And ideally, this even maybe through the course of 30 days. Yeah, they have their own website,
Uh-huh.
but we'll give them a page on this site that's their like listing, and ideally they can just replace their entire separate website with one that's on ours, but designed well.
Right. Because a lot of sole practitioners' websites look like crap,
Yeah,
and they don't function properly.
and I don't mean a separate domain. I mean like
Something.
House, or something where it's just your slash whatever.
Right. There it is. Click on a button.
Yeah.
This is going to do this, but it's built properly and optimized. And because most of the time those people are throwing stuff up through WordPress and they don't have a clue.
Yeah,
It's like me. I don't have a clue.
or just the basic GoDaddy
Right.
Yeah, or
free website.
they put a page up on Facebook and think that's their.
Right.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of going down that road because of what it does, and it would teach someone who, like me, I'm stupid. I mean, I know this all exists out there somewhere. No idea how to do it. I know it works. I've seen it happen.
Mhm.
I've never done it. I have no idea. So I think that's the way to go because we're teaching. If we can turn that around in 30 days and say, okay, there's 5 of you writing about barbecue,
Yeah.
or raising dogs, or whatever.
Mhm.
You're all contributing authors. You're increasing each other's because you all learned how to write quality articles together.
Mhm.
Some may be running at 80%, some at 100, but they're still better than the crap I would turn out by myself, right?
Yeah.
It seems to make sense to me. From a person who has no clue.
Mhm.
And that's the only value I bring to this conversation is I have no clue.
And so we're going to teach them in the first 30 days how to make money, and they're hopefully going to get
So we're going to set it up that it goes to
a check, or at least not a check, but
the direct deposit or a credits in their bank.
but thing that shows, because it takes a while for the the money process to happen. It's like
Right.
usually 2-3 months after you earn it. You
Right.
get it. So
So we set up a digital representation. You're going to have this much money
this is how much you have in your account.
and the checks will be dispersed when we get the money. Blah blah blah.
Mhm.
So can we teach effectively in 30 days how to make money online by doing quality SEO articles? If we're publishing all in the same plots that we have control of.
I think if we're talking about affiliate marketing, which is what we're doing.
Yes, right.
This is affiliate marketing.
Essentially, because we can tie into digital product and offer sales on that. We can tie into Amazon if we want, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, see, and the way I'm imagining this, because we have a shared site, I don't think every group of 5 people is making a Reiki site, say, or whatever.
No.
Right.
It's going to be one. So for most of the groups, there will already be an established domain
That already has traffic.
that's already making money. Yeah, already has traffic.
So
that
they're just adding
on.
They're just adding on to it, which creates more and more interest theoretically.
Mhm.
And we're talking about Reiki, and we get to week 12 or whatever it is, or day 30.
Mhm.
And they've all bonded. All 5 or 7 or whoever number of the team are on that team have all bonded over the course of that 30 days. Hopefully, they'll choose to reinvest their money and take the next course.
Yeah.
And continue to push on and try to increase the money they make, increase the viability of the website.
Well,
Because-
even if they don't, I don't see why they couldn't just stick around in the previous course.
Oh, they could.
Right?
Yeah, they could. No, I'm just saying. Hopefully,
Yeah.
they take the money they've earned, and a portion of that or all of that goes back to us, so they
Yeah.
take the next group.
Mhm.
Because either way, so first of all, if I'm hearing this right, you can tell me if I'm wrong. First of all, they're going to generate income. We're going to get paid because they're generating content, and they're going to theoretically make sales on their articles over the first course of the time that they've been up there. One.
Mhm.
So we're making money, they're making money. We're also making money because they're buying the course, right?
Mhm.
Yes? So we're making money 2 ways.
I mean, at the
This is
level
the
that
entry
we're.
level. There's like
Yeah.
the $7 level.
Right.
Which, like Daniel was saying, we would pay out 100% referral rate.
Well, so at that level, when you're buying Facebook ads and stuff, it's generally that's break even.
$7?
Ish, yeah, 7 to 9. Like below $10 stuff, you're
Mhm.
breaking even on getting traffic in. So that would basically cover, at that low price, that would cover our marketing costs. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless we're paying out 100% referral rate, then we're not getting anything.
Well, then we wouldn't be the people that were referral, we wouldn't be getting.
Oh yeah,
any marketing
it's the
costs.
same thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a wash.
It's a marketing cost either
Gotcha.
way.
And the other thing is
The-
people can earn it too. So like if their friend wants to join, they can get theirs free
Mm-hmm.
because they get 100% referral kind of thing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, because
The same concept.
it's a marketing cost either way. I mean,
Sure.
you're paying somebody for a referral. It's just or we're paying someone for ads. We're paying
Yeah.
either way.
Either way. Yeah.
So the initial offer at least would not be
We're not going to make any
money
money.
making, but the secondary ones where we're selling them add-ons and it's potentially at much higher prices because it'll be more complex, like write a book or actually do your own separate website or stuff like that.
Create your own product.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've got to the point we don't want to have them outside of our sandbox. Correct?
Yeah, so ideally they would be making funnels on our platform.
Yes.
The stuff would be all in our stuff.
And we make it easy for them because they have a professionally done website or web pages for their business
They
and
have
for their
built-in
practice.
traffic
They have
already.
built-in
And they don't have to
traffic and
start from
referrals.
scratch. Yeah.
You know, you don't have to try to generate all this by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can just, I mean, there are lots of positives to sell this
Yeah.
to somebody,
Mhm.
right?
And with the system in place, if we gauge the market and they're, a lot of our people, they want to learn how to do their own separate site, then fine, we'll just charge them a lot more.
Right, because then they're coming out of our sandbox.
Yeah.
So the cost of that course would be $1,500 or $3,000, whatever the number is,
Yeah.
versus $299.
And they would pay it because they went through the first one. And like,
And got value,
this
okay.
works for me.
Right,
I can have my own.
right. Okay, I like that. So we are going to teach how to make money online in 30 days.
Specifically,
Based
how to
on
write traffic generating blog posts.
Okay, traffic, there we go. Game model.
Monetized.
So, like, I'm thinking we don't need to teach them anything about affiliate. I don't know that we should do affiliate as far as
You don't have to teach them anything.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think you teach them how to write a good blog post. If you want to link in affiliate stuff, we do that. We control all.
Well, so with the affiliate specifically, to get good click throughs, you need to actually write a blog post that's about the link, basically. Like, you're basically, the whole blog post is a way to sell the affiliate link.
Right.
Like, one of mine that I wrote on my off-grid one, it's about pressure cookers. The whole thing is about pressure cookers for
Mhm.
canning, and as part of the thing, I'm like, the best one is this for you, unless you're doing this, in which case it's that one. Those are Amazon affiliate links. I make a ton of that stuff. Right? If you just put a link somewhere on the page, nobody's going to click it.
Right.
So they would need to know if we're doing that, but I don't know that we should actually do
This
like
task,
an
this
affiliate.
overall project is game modeling. What are we calling this thing? Making money in 30 days by
Well, straight up content writing.
Yeah, content.
content writing. I think,
Maybe it's like,
I think that's a wise choice. Again, like I said, I'm from the guy who knows that shit happens and works, but has no clue. You know, breaking it down, making it so it's not as whatever. Mm-hmm.
I think if we literally took weeks, like search engine analysis, post topic selection, titles, page SEO, formatting, all that stuff,
Mhm.
like if we took those 2 weeks and made it into 30 days of micro lessons instead of just fire hose, this is the 15 things you can do to make up good blog titles, and like actually work them through each. So like I gave a bunch of examples of good blog titles. Say
Mm-hmm.
one task could be write a blog title that's this format.
Are we worried about funnels and stacks or not?
No, they're not going to do any of that.
Not yet.
That
Okay.
will be an add-on.
Correct. So we're looking at weeks 2 and 3.
That literally that content is all we need to put into the 30-day thing.
30 days.
Is
And as far as
accurate?
learning, yeah.
I'm not.
And there's
I want to put it down here as a task. That's why I want you to buy it.
And there are many ways we can
Down
switch that up and make it different
weeks
for each thing.
2
Different ways to approach
and 3,
things. Like
30-day
Coming up with
micro lessons.
almost think coming up with the titles
That doesn't happen first.
might be better for us in the beginning to create those.
So here's
So
what I was
a list
thinking
of
of
10
that stuff.
titles.
Yeah. Well, I think we should seed them, but I'm thinking what we do is we start giving them that at the beginning. So somebody who's just starting it is getting them handed to them.
They
The
get
next
the
step
first
up,
10.
they're starting to learn how to do it a little bit,
Mhm.
and when they get to more advanced, they're writing titles as part of tasks that get fed to other people earlier in the task.
So we start off at like week 1. We've seen them with titles.
Yeah.
Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, whatever.
Yeah.
We've seen them with titles, but by day 15 or 20, they should be creating titles and submitting to us.
Yeah.
And you're scoring their titles and getting points or whatever based on the efficacy of those titles, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking? Okay.
And when they're really good at it, so like they're getting scored high most of the time, so they can earn their way up in these ranks basically.
Uh-huh.
When they get to a certain rank, they're writing titles for everybody else. So we're not
Right.
writing them all,
Right. That's what I meant.
and
by
they get
submitting.
special tasks.
And that's what I meant by submitting to us. I mean, basically, they have a separate task or a bonus task of writing titles and getting points for that, rewards for that. Right?
Yeah. So
They could cherry pick those titles, write them themselves, and they're earning potentially a portion of the revenue is being earned by their folks.
yeah, so I'm thinking 3 exact stages. 1, they're writing other people's titles based on other people's titles. 2, they're writing titles and getting them reviewed, but they're using them only for themselves. And then stage 3 is they have the option to write titles for other people for points.
Mhm.
And heck, titles are so important that may actually earn you a small percentage of the traffic of that page. Or something.
Mhm.
So we could break each page into like title, headings, content, image, right? And potentially different people could contribute those to the same article and
Mhm.
get a percentage of the overall traffic that way.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's part of what we talked about. Why I wanted to have a team was that people who are really good at image or really good at titles or really good at content, could go collaborate and create a better quality article or post than they could do by themselves, which would theoretically score higher, right?
And here's another thing too to think about is when it comes to headings and stuff, we can actually A/B test different ones on the same content or images. So there could be 3 titles per post, right? And we're actually dynamically testing them on our end to determine which one's more effective.
Oh, my brain hurts.
Yeah. And where do the variations of that title come from? Do we create those?
No,
Or is
different
that the
people write them.
original? Wow.
That could be one of the tasks. So,
So think about this. I mean, basically,
Wow.
what we're
Wow.
kind of doing is kind of taking on Wikipedia all by ourselves.
well, and the thing is,
Pretty much.
it's competitive Wikipedia.
Right.
So the best Wikipedia article wins, right? And the person whose title won gets the revenue. The person whose titles didn't win, they maybe get a little bit of our virtual coin
Mhm.
for doing it. Well, they definitely do, right? And if it's been up longer, maybe they get a little extra or something. But if you want to make real money, you got to be the one that wrote the best title. And that feeds into one of the core things is creativity and the being able to display your confidence on people.
Mhm.
And at the same time, they're all still winning because they're all contributing to a site that's on their topic that will generate revenue,
Mhm.
that will increase their credibility in a given subject matter area. So they still all win.
Oh yeah.
And
I feel like they're.
and there's a huge social aspect because they're in a group of people that are working together.
Yep.
Well, what are we missing off your octagon for that concept
Oh.
so far? I think we covered a good chunk of it, right? Let's see here.
I don't know.
Ownership,
Ownership. They get the
accomplishment,
feeling of that.
empowerment, social influence. Oh, we got the top 5 already covered.
We didn't really get epic meaning, but
No, I'm talking. Well, for them, they do. I mean, they're chasing down the epic meaning of their own kind of right.
potentially, yeah, that'd be the world hero sub aspect.
Right.
If I'm writing this to save the world kind of thing.
I want everybody to learn about Reiki and the benefits of it. I'm doing it for. I want to help salespeople not fail and be miserable in their sales life. Whatever the.
So that comes down to a lot. I think epic meaning comes down to a lot of presentation in the actual thing. Like you're talking, so narrative is actually one of the sub elements of this.
Uh-huh.
So it doesn't have to be a real epic meaning, but if we present it with an ongoing narrative, each task where you're working towards this, you're
That's-
saving the world or
uh-huh.
whatever.
Right, and that's kind of where we. That's why it's important to figure out our process because the narrative can change. Again, once the structure's there, we can change narratives all day long.
Well, separate from the actual mechanics of how the system works, there's going to need to be kind of a template as far as this is how lessons are presented.
Right. Lesson template, task template. And we want to keep this consistent.
Yeah. So we'll kind of have to figure out how exactly we want to even present the narrative. Is it going to be only in the videos? Will there be separate narrative elements that appear randomly, like story elements, like text box, or video-only story elements?
Well, that's what we were talking a little bit last week too about that, is how we're going to present the information.
Mhm.
Are we going to cartoon it? Are we going to, do we want live training? Do we want, actual videos of us, or do you want something that's a little more generic, not as quite as tied to our
Did you
faces?
see his latest one? Did you see that? The one that we shared in the group?
Uh-uh.
You should look at it. You can watch it right now. It's only a couple minutes.
Where's it at though?
Yeah. Can you
It's
put
in
it up on the screen?
It's in Discord. I was checking Discord.
Well, this makes me feel bad about making instructional videos now. It's so good.
Oh, sample video. There it is. I missed
Yeah.
that one. I'm sorry.
This one's so good, I feel bad. I feel like I can't make them anymore.
Not this kind of funnel, but a series of web pages designed to get your products and services in the hands of people who need them. We call them funnels because how they work is you send many people from all over the web to your landing page, and buyers proceed sequentially from page to page into your client list. How are funnels superior to web stores?
It's beautiful.
Imagine you're going to a hardware store.
Amazing.
You go in and you see a wall of stuff. You're so confused you don't even know where to start. You have to guess what you need. That's a web store. It's great when you already know what you need, but extremely confusing when you're just getting started. Imagine you borrow on a friend who knows everything about plumbing. First he says, get this, get this, get this, and don't forget this, but stay away from that one. Then he says, here's precisely what you need to get started. But while you're here, you can fix that drip in your shower if you
So real quick,
Mhm.
my question would be on this, because it's going to be something, we can't use anybody's images unless they're public domain, all that stuff, right?
Yeah, those are all Unsplash images or stuff that I made
Okay.
for free. Yeah, I'm very careful about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying we got to be really careful about that in our own content. That's why I was wondering if we're going to do, because if we do like Doodly, everything we create
Mhm.
is ours. Even if we're using their things, it's our product because we put it together. So we don't have to worry about any of that. Just
So
making sure.
I am
So we don't have to.
curious about this one. I was thinking about it for the one that I did last week for our thing. It was
Uh-huh.
too long, because I put two things in one. Now we're trying to
You
we're
you
trying
go
to
too
cut
long.
everything
What?
down. Yeah,
I don't believe
we're
it.
trying to cut everything down to these little process videos. Like this one is perfect.
Uh-huh.
And so if you were to provide that script to David Gibson,
Yep.
and let him do the same thing, and then compare the two, do it in Doodly.
Well, I can give you that audio file and then see what comes out of it, right? Or do you need this? Would you re-record it?
It doesn't matter. Either way, if I have the audio file, I lay it in the audio file first and then put graphics to it.
Yeah, because I
I mean-
thought you were just going to record it anyway, right? So it'd be easier just to
Yeah.
have the audio already recorded.
Yeah, because then I'd have to talk through it again. The only reason I want the script is just so I knew what was coming up before I laid it out, and I could work on timing. So if I have the the
Yeah.
actual script,
Yeah,
I can do a dry run of the because audio is usually I add that in last. First things first is getting the scenes right, doing the scenes. So you look at each thing, you create a scene. By the time you're talking about that subject, you want the scene to be complete, right? And so I know which scenes are going to be in place, like I did when we were talking about our meetings. Okay, so we're in a conference room, we're doing this, we're doing that. That's the only reason I'd want the script. I wouldn't want to re-record your voice because you do a job of pacing.
and grab this too. And consider updating your toilet valve while you're at it.
I
You
can't
know, it can
imagine
save you a lot of money on the water bill next month.
the Doodly.
Because
But
your
it would
friend
be
knows
interesting to see
exactly
the
your
contrast between
and
the
how
two.
to fix it reliably, you feel confident, in control,
I
and
like
excited
that
to
idea.
tackle any challenge.
I don't even know how
A
you
great funnel
Yeah.
does.
Well, I'm mostly thinking of like the
it builds a human
script. Is
connection
it a good
between you
script? Is this the
and the
length?
creator.
Yeah.
Is this the way we want to present it?
Makes the client feel heard and understood more than a store ever could. And it offers a targeted solution to their problem. Today we start the challenging but rewarding process of crafting a highly successful funnel that will catapult your reach and impact to the next level.
Excellent. Was excellent. I thought maybe the music was a little dramatic, but you both tend to go towards dramatic when it comes to the background music. But I don't know if that's great. I think that probably I don't know if people think that that's enhances or distracts. Like right now, we don't really use background music much of anything, and I think that's probably better. You don't think so?
You want to hear without background music?
You want to?
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if you don't have background music, your pacing's you're going to sound like you got a lot of dead space because ideally you're communicating in a at a speed that people can read and comprehend and get your message. So you're going to have theoretically you should have good pauses, good spacing, and then you just have dead air. If you don't have background music, you have dead air. That's not good.
Yeah.
That's why, because you're not.
You can cut the dead air out. Okay?
No, because you need the spaces and pauses.
Uh-huh.
Because when you communicate, you create pauses, and it's part of the message.
And there has to be now, like in hypnotherapy, we use background noise because it's hard for people to concentrate. And so you use background noise, background music because they have to pay more attention to what you're saying. They have to concentrate harder. And maybe that's what we do, what we're doing with the background music. Maybe it is like a hypnotherapy
You
session.
taking it out?
Yeah, I can just take that track out and play a little bit if you want to listen to it.
This must sound funny, I think.
Not this kind of a funnel, but a series of web pages and services in the hands of people who need them. We call them funnels because how they work is you send many
So crazy. You got great graphics.
and buyers proceed sequentially from page to page into your client lists. How are funnels superior to web source? Imagine you were going into a harbor, know nothing about plumbing. You go in and you see a wall of stuff. You're so confused you don't even know where to start. You have to guess what you need. That's a web store. It's great when you already know what you need, but extremely confusing when you're just getting started. Imagine you borrow on a friend who knows everything about plumbing. First he says, get this, get this, get this, and don't forget this, but stay away from that one. Then he says, here's precisely what you need to get started. But while you're here, you can fix that drip in your shower if you grab this too, and consider updating your toilet valve while you're at it. Do you know it could save you a lot of money on the water bill next month? Because your friend knows exactly your problem and how to fix it reliably, you feel confident, in control, and excited to tackle a new challenge. A great funnel does these three things. Human connection between you, the creator, and your prospective client. It makes the client feel heard and understood more than a store ever could. And it offers a targeted solution to their problem. Today we start the challenging but rewarding process of crafting a highly successful funnel that will catapult your reach and impact to the next level.
Okay, that's without.
Yeah. Well, I'm outnumbered. I mean, I like
Oh,
it
you say
without.
you like it better without?
I like it better without, personally. But I'm the lowest common denominator in this whole project because I'm the weirdo.
Well, some of this stuff will need to be tested, honestly. We can't just guess what it's going to be good.
No, that's why we're talking about A and B. With just like the articles, everything we do should be A and B tested. We do some with background music, some without.
Well, we have
Some
people,
cartoons, some live. I mean, we do it all.
We have people we can test shit on right now. So I mean, this is a good example.
Yeah, we don't have enough people for A/B testing. I mean, we can ask them what they like.
Yeah.
The ideal would be we have like a few hundred people going through this, and we produce the same. Like, let's say we want to test sound versus not sound, that background music.
Exact same content.
Yeah.
Just take
I
out.
render that out twice,
Mhm.
and then half of them would get one, and half of them get the other. We do that for the entire course and see which one had better results.
Uh-huh.
And that's the only way to really be 100% sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And since it's easy to, it's easy to, any of these software, it's easy to dub background music real quick. You just take it out. It's,
Right.
Re-render it and you're fine. So it's not like we're doing the work twice.
So it'd be interesting to see what your whiteboard writing software is probably way faster than doing that. That took a while.
That is really cool though.
But the thing is, when we have certain graphic elements, I can replace them. So it'd be nice if we could use something that's a little more
Oh, you
like what you have.
Send me a picture. I can put any graphic image I can put in there. and it'll draw it.
Or a movie. Or okay, I see what you're saying.
Because there were some parts of that where I think it would have been better off to do more, like where it's just the guy or the
Mm-hmm.
place where they're in the thing. Like
Yeah.
there could have been more on screen. I just didn't have time to do that for this one. But I just kind of wanted to test out, like, is this length about what we want? Is this kind of way of presenting it the way that we want to do it?
I think that was a nice. I mean, that was a nice intro.
Yeah, but
I mean, he didn't
definitely
really.
the swooshing elements and all that. You know,
Because
people coming out of the funnel.
basically that's it. Like if I were giving like an hour presentation to teach funnels,
Uh-huh.
that would be like 2 or 3 slides of it, basically.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so for like this week's lesson,
Mhm.
if anybody gets to see it,
Mhm.
is going to be like 3 or 4 of those, and in between each of those videos, there's going to be you need to do this,
Mhm.
except for maybe that one. There's not a whole lot to do after that one, but
No,
like the next one is going to be here's the page what the first page of a funnel is.
Mhm.
Now you need to create the product titles for that page.
Mhm.
Next one's going to be page 2, and then
Mhm.
now you need to create the product titles
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So that's what I'm envisioning with these. And in the newer system, that each one of those videos plus associated work could be a task
Mhm.
in itself.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing about with it on YouTube is that it's closed captioned, so you have that going at the same time. So that's multiple.
Oh, we can close caption this too.
We'll serve off of YouTube, right?
And no, once we can serve it off of anything. But once I render it, it's a video, MP4 file.
Right. So that means it'll automatically. YouTube.
No, we can do that, or I'll close caption it ourselves. So I can put closed captioning in.
That's confusing. I think when you have 2 closed caption things going on at the same time. I know people do that. Tony was doing that a little bit.
Well, we can. I wouldn't put closed captions in the hard code video,
Mhm.
but whatever way we serve it, like if we use YouTube or the later one, like we're eventually going to want to go to serving it some other way than YouTube, for sure.
Absolutely.
Vimeo or something. So, but all of those have soft closed captions. So I think that would be the way to close caption it, even if they don't do it automatically. Like Vimeo won't automatically caption yours. You have to do it manually, but it still has you can choose and have it go up. Even just from a technical side, you get much smaller video files if you don't have text in it. So
Oh, okay.
it would be better to have a closed captioning separate.
Mhm.
Plus, then we have the possibility of translations.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll leave it up.
So I will upload. So what all from that do you want? Do you want all the image files and stuff, or you just want the audio and
Just want the
scripts?
audio. That's great.
Okay.
And just send it to me or put it on Asana, and I'll just make a script, I might want the funnel video, the funnel pictures, maybe. See what I got for saying.
What project are we working on for this, Dave?
Oh,
I'll just make a task and upload it into the tasks.
we're making game modeling, making money online in 30 days of content running, right? That's what we're doing right now?
Is there a task for that?
I just made
Or
one.
not a task? I mean, that's
It's under
project?
It's under Quit Your Job for Life game modeling version 0.01. I created a whole new set of stuff. I haven't assigned anything to anybody yet, but it's all there.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's in the transition. Gotcha.
Yeah, I moved because we're transitioning. This is all part of transitioning what we're doing to create funnel.
What's the name of that service you're using again?
Doodly.
Doodly. I gotta remember that.
And I might even colorize it because they also, I'll probably spend more money on that this week. So we're still taking two of those weeks though. Yeah. Search analysis, post topic, titles, epic book. No, expert book title. We're not talking about that. But formatting, SEO, keywords, images, all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My hands gonna hurt. So then we're gonna turn around. Oh no, wait a minute, I see what you're saying, because this is actually. That's actually someplace else, isn't it? So, the lesson templates, task templates, I think you should probably do that because you're going to know what's going to be the most effective for programming goes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe I'll do some. I'll think of what the template should be, what I think they should be, and do some mock-ups like I did of
Yeah.
the thing of just those screens,
Right.
so that we can go through them together and see if that's really makes sense.
Who's vibrating? Is that me? No, it's me.
It's all of us.
It's all of us.
No.
Yeah. It's,
Probably.
it's David Gibson push promoting us.
Okay. I think we need to talk about that as a group. That needs to be by. Once we know what's going on, we can worry about those later. Okay. I need to turn on colorization. I need to get a bigger library.
Oh, did we need to update the Discord link?
I checked them. I didn't notice. I don't know which one was expired, but I replaced them with all of them with a non-expiring link
Oh, good.
in case somebody somehow couldn't get on. So we should be good on that.
Oh. Okay. All right, what else do we need to do?
So now we have a template for the first 30 days. So we don't really need to focus on this
We don't have a template for the 30 days.
the next and the next.
Well, I think that's what we're right now. We want to take that 30-day thing, right, and actually lay out specifically. These are the tasks. These are the things they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
These are the video lessons that we would need.
Yeah.
And walk them through that whole.
Mm-hmm.
Based on these tasks, I think that's what we're heading towards.
Well, I mean, that's what we talked about, but
Yeah.
if we're changing, and I just need to,
No, I think I'm totally fine with. I think that's what we need to do next.
it's just create a 30-day outline and go and start to build it and see what it looks like and how it functions.
Mm-hmm.
Because once we have, if we have that 30-day outline done right, again, structure-wise, obviously we have to work with something to create structure. But if we do that right, we should be able to keep the structure in place and change the content and add the next 30 days without a problem.
Yeah.
So we need to, if anybody who comes up with tasks or ideas or whatever needs to add to our list.
Mm-hmm.
So Daniel, do you want to do lunch later? You gotta,
Yeah, I can do lunch.
where should we do that?
Taco Bell.
That's funny. We could do Taco Bell.
People are so stupid.
All right. When they go to Taco Bell, you
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't care. What do you guys want to do? My guess is either Country Kitchen or the Mexican place, right?
Or the Applebee's.
Or Applebee's.
Yeah. Visually, Mexican place, Applebee's. Those are all safe places. And we could do like this little Chinese gig right here, down on the corner.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I think. I don't have Chinese that often. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
That much makes me feel good.
Yeah, I don't.
Hello.
It makes me feel good for a long time.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. What's the name of that place?
Ocean Sky.
Is that it?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Good memory. That's really good, because I didn't know we get to do that.
Did you do any of the stuff for the store?
I didn't. I'm still kind of working on that. It's like, how am I going to roll that out? I'm thinking I could easily just do a gallery.
Yeah.
But then I thought that's too easy, so I think I'm going to do tables instead, so that I can have still use a gallery picture.
Okay.
But have no, actually I could still use a gallery because I could use the caption. That would still work.
Mm-hmm.
So I could use a caption just for a model, so that people could look at it. So I think I'll do the gallery would be easier. So I just need images, put in descriptions. They don't need to go anywhere. But just to show them what a storefront would look like.
Oh, crap.
I don't think they ever need to go anywhere. I think
Sorry,
there's a
guys.
list of them.
Yeah.
I have friends that their truck broke down at Lake Quinault
Oh no.
with their truck loaded with their camper
Oh no.
and the boat at the boat launch, pulling their boat out of the water.
Oh no!
And they think it's their batteries. So I need to go grab a couple batteries and then drive to Lake Quinault.
Well, there you go.
Like, really? So
Sometimes life happens.
yeah, so add to that list of tasks anything you need me to do or you come up with. I mean, everybody, think about it. If you come across something that needs to be added to that list as we go through building this, just throw stuff on it. We can figure out who's doing what anytime. That's not a problem. But we need to identify what other tasks we need to do because that's, I mean, that's just a general outline. Can you upload that document? Do you have that document saved?
Yeah.
Can you put that on?
Actually, Daniel has it saved.
Okay, yeah. Can you put it on Asana so we have it?
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll start figuring it out. Crap.
Stuff happens. That's good that you were able to take that call.
Well, she texted me, asked me if she could call me first. I was like, yeah, you can call.
That's an awkward place to have a good breakdown happen right there.
Yeah, that's not good. They tried to jump and it didn't work. I don't think getting a battery to them is going to help, but whatever. What do I know? Nobody believes me.
Getting a battery to them? That
Yeah.
should help.
No, I don't think so. But I don't think it's the batteries. But
Yeah, if they couldn't jump it,
it's a
unless it's
diesel.
real low.
It's a diesel, so theoretically it could be because most car batteries can't push a diesel. You know.
Yeah, that's true. That schedule, I have to put it in a task to upload it. Is there one that you would make sense to?
Or you can just put it under the should be documents.
Yeah, there is. I tried to just drag it in there and it wouldn't do
It
it.
wouldn't take it? Okay. I don't just put it under one, we'll figure it out. I'll get it moved if I need to. Why don't you put one there, huh? That's weird.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised.
I hadn't tried to play with it yet, so I didn't know if we needed to be subscribers for that to happen. Walmart batteries. Oh, really? People. I don't want to have like one all.
Do you think we could all jump on like phone call or something
Oh,
like Monday night?
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure on what some of the tasks are, so I'm thinking it might be good for us to just like step over them real quick.
Yeah, I just was thinking about things we need to accomplish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I figured you were just kind of brain dumping.
I'm brain dumping everything I can think about what we need to accomplish. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we need to put structure about it, but, you know.
Well, I just know I'm assigned to someone. Like I'm not 100% sure what that is.
Like
so maybe if we just walk through it
Like what?
together. Well, like bounties.
Bounties. You were talking about bounties.
Yeah. Well, what am I doing with that specifically?
Well, between everybody, I mean, we need to figure out what the bounties are going to be for each day or week and how we're going to structure that.
Yeah.
So I put you on it because you have to make the programming side of it make sense. But
So this is the programming side.
yeah, anything that has your name on, pretty much programming. We'll figure out structure, or as far as actual, like for us, how do I put this? You know, how it applies to a given subject is not as important as how the structure works and how you accomplish it, right?
Yeah. It just there's a lot of stuff to do with bounties, so it's kind of
Right.
like
That's,
holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm doing all the bounties.
no, I'm thinking more of
I don't even know what a bounty is.
well, you're laying out okay systems is what I'm thinking. So I can put systems like the task system. You know, programming from my brain, I could be wrong, is more important than what it is. Because once we have a program to figure out the way it flows, we can just assign whatever skin to it we want, right?
Yeah, as long as I can kind of, get it into a form that's generally useful.
Right.
So basically, we're going to come up with a flow chart, or not a flow chart,
So I'm going to turn this into a mock-up. So I'm going to mock up the task UI, mock up the bounties and stuff.
Then just mock-up UIs is what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah, because that's a separate move from actual programming, but that's enough.
That's our starting point, though.
Yeah.
We have to have a mock-up before you program it, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could just make a page directly, but it's better to mock it up. So we'll do it that way.
Well, that way if we have, you don't want to...
That way we can iterate it.
Right, and you don't have to
Because
program
I don't want to start coding it and then be like, that's way harder to change a code
Once it's
up
written.
than a mock-up. Yeah.
Right. That's what I was thinking. So we mock them up, figure out what we want. That's why I was talking about how we, that's why there's like, how do we present them? That kind of stuff. We need to figure that stuff out. I need to reorder those because I think those bounties and stuff. Well, the mock-up can happen now, but how we present and in what order they're presented and that kind of stuff. Because my thinking is we have tasks and mock-ups, two different things, right? Like tasks, 10 bounties. Well, a task we complete to get a bounty done. Is what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
so I was thinking like that card is a bounty, and when you click into it and do something, that's a task,
Right.
and the task give you the bounty. So
Okay.
bounty is basically like a reward for doing a specific thing.
Okay.
But there could be like writing's a task, right? But you might have 10 bounties that are writing,
Right.
and they're different. You're writing different things,
Right.
But the task is the same. It's always writing
Gotcha. Okay.
or something. So yeah, okay, I get it now.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I'll put more detail to it. I was just brain dumping, so I had. And you can add any notes to it after from our conversation. I just was trying to get us something down on paper, so we had things to work on.
No, that's okay. Yeah, well, if you're gonna look into it some more, and
I'm going to
maybe I'll hit you up on Discord at some
Yep.
point.
Yep, you can do that. Send me a message in Discord. All right, I'm gonna go get batteries for an F350 diesel. And,
All right, enjoy.
oh, not really. This is not what I'm gonna do on a Sunday afternoon. I promise you, there's not something fun to me.
Yeah.